before more of the day is gone, and I'm like, I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we'll get this out.
We'll do this.
How's your energy? What's your boost? I thought you were getting a Pepsi, but you were getting a pickle. Why did they do a quarter pickle?
I was just really hungry.
And the pickle made you not hungry?
Well, it's heavy, so it'll get me. It'll get me through the podcast.
Would you rather have a pickle or an olive? Olives.
I would have to have olives.
Yeah, I love olives.
Olives, yeah, I'd have to have a lot.
Do you put pickle juice in your drinks?
Mm-mm.
Well,
I do drink pickle juice out of the jar, though.
It's supposed to be good for you.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
It's the sodium. What about putting pickle juice in Diet Pepsi?
Never tried it.
I bet it's good.
I don't know.
You know what's really good is fucking coffee. It's got to be creamed sugar coffee, though, in Coca-Cola. They used to make a product called Coke Black.
Yeah.
Because like a little splash of olive juice in a margarita is really good.
I always eat the olives out of Gina's margarita. Things,
super duper dirty. Okay, we'll knock these down. Shit, you know what?
What? What'd you forget? Podcast
episode
49. Oh,
49. 49, almost 50. Almost 50. February 27th, 1:47 p.m. We'll just jump. We will delve right into this.
Them?
Hey, Skully, have you looked into the Thin Thread? At Thin Thread, there is a documentary called A Good American on Netflix. Please watch it and give commentary.
I've already forgotten about it, and by the time I get home, I will not remember it. So, PM me.
Hit Gina up.
PM me, and then I will definitely watch it. I'm serious.
Call the Waverly County Sheriff's Department and have them remind him.
Yes, that would work too. Just get a hold of Brandy at the Sheriff's Department, and she will call me and let me know.
I carry all the time. I've been pulled over a couple times, usually customers' cars. I put my wallet in my shirt pocket when I'm driving. I roll the windows down, shut my engine off, my driver's license and permit in hand. Hands on top of the steering wheel, no problem yet. I haven't been disarmed yet.
The whole point of any of that stuff is you have to understand that every time a police officer goes up to a car, doesn't matter what it is, tail light, speeding, whatever, there is a high probability that somebody's going to fucking pull a gun on them and they're going to get in a gunfight. So just
let them know that's not going to be you.
Yeah, just giving that officer the opportunity to be like, okay, I'm going to take a breath, I'm going to write this guy a ticket because he was speeding, but I don't have to worry about fucking blasting him in the back of the head. So
it's just being at ease.
Yeah, every time they get out of their car, man, they don't know. So they have a high stress level all the time. So when you see when you see a cop outside of his car and he's running 10 blocks chasing a guy, if he don't hit him in the back of the head after he tackles him, I'm very surprised, because you got a high level of shit going on in your body when you're doing something like that. So just be nice.
Y'all want to ship the homeless to Mexico? I'm all for that. Except our homeless vets. Except our homeless vets. If anyone deserves our help, it's our vets.
I think that everybody should get a shot. I don't want to say everybody gets flown to Mexico right off the bat. I think everybody gets a shot at it. We bring them all in, run them through the fucking dental tent, run them through the Job Corps tent, run them through the low-income housing tent. We run them all through. And then the next time we do it, whoever's still standing there, we fly those people down to Mexico. Even the vets. The vets will be fine. They'll love it down in Baja, Mexico. They'll drink beers on the beach all day.
Most of your homeless vets, not all of them. There's some fucked up. The majority of your homeless vets were going to be homeless anyways.
Go to, and if you think I'm being too harsh, go to San Diego. I'm sure that there's other places that do this, but San Diego does a veteran stand down every year where they bring all the veterans off the street and brush their teeth and give them a fucking hot meal and blah blah blah. They see the same guys every year.
Those are choices.
Those are choices. They're making the choice that they would rather stay on the street. And when I say they see the same guys every year, they're providing assistance for all these people. So if it's a mental health issue, they're providing mental health issue things. If it's a fucking home issue, they actually have a program in San Diego where they put these guys up in fucking apartments that don't cost them a thing. They end up back out on the street. That's a you problem. I'm all for veterans, But if a veteran can't fucking get off his fucking lazy ass and do something for himself, well, that's not my problem anymore.
And just like everywhere, some of those dudes are just pieces of shit. It's everywhere. Fucking everybody's got the veterans. You have been programmed to say that. Like, where were all them motherfuckers when everybody was coming back from Vietnam? Like, this is the new, like, it is a diversion of your attention. Some of them need help. And if that's your real thought, walk your ass down there and fucking help some of them. Like, put some fucking time. Put a half a fucking Saturday or whatever it is that makes you feel better. Go find out for yourself what the real case is.
And here's the other thing, too. Chances are, if you see a guy on the corner, he's in fucking camis, and he's wearing a fucking Gulf War veteran t-shirt, and he's asking for dollars, chances are, he is actually not even a veteran.
And let's be honest.
He's playing on your wanting to help a veteran to get your fucking $5. Those guys are making tons of money out on them corners.
And let's be honest. Gulf War I, the first one, those dudes didn't see fucking combat, most of them. Fucking some of the fucking biggest I'm a disabled veteran people I've met. Gulf War I. No fucking combat. Got all the placards, all the stickers, all the disability, all this shit, squealing about all the shit they can't do. Those dudes didn't see their fucking buddies die. They didn't see fucking anything happen. We know tons of dudes that were over there that went back. They were fucking praying for some fucking combat. Along with that, Spirko had a good thing to say. I don't know what episode it was. I think it was actually today or yesterday's episode. He said, like the illegal aliens, right? So we bring you in. You want to be an illegal, you want to come in? 3 generations. You don't get any rights. You can come here, you can work, you fucking pay taxes just like everybody else, you do everything everybody else does. You are not eligible for any assistance. You don't get fucking nothing until the 3rd generation. And if you get in trouble, if you fucking commit a victim crime, a crime with a victim, do not pass go out automatically. You're fucking exported. You're never fucking coming back. There was a lot more to it. But the way he put it, I'm like, yeah, that sounds fucking pretty good. We should fucking do that. And, you know, he also brought up the point with everybody squealing about the Mexican labor coming over and, you know, how they're taking white jobs and they're taking fucking U.S. citizen jobs. Show me a goddamn U.S. citizen that's not fucking Mexican out at those fucking strawberry fields or the tomato fields or in your fucking kitchens at any of your restaurants, because I've been in all of them. They were fucking all over the place. You didn't never see a fucking gringo down there. Fucking never. If there was a gringo, that was fucking F.A. That was the fucking boss. You don't, those, because they won't fucking do the work. Fucking, yeah, I'll go pick some fucking tomatoes for $20 an hour. Well, god damn it. Then you're not going to have, you're going to have a fucking $8 tomato that you're going to be fucking complaining about. You don't want to do the work. You just want to fucking complain about it. I'm 23 years old. I work in the aerospace and defense industry. It amazes me the amount of people that are 40 plus years old that have been with my company 20 years or more years that don't care to show up to work. I've been with my company for 3 years and already have been promoted to supervisor of my department. The amount of complaints and grievances filed against me when I was awarded the position blew me away, but I was not surprised. At the least, they only want to do the one job for 8 hours a day and go to the casino after. At the end of the day, I feel accomplished with my work and am always pushing for more work. Hard 60-hour work weeks got me to where I am now, about to buy a house and just got engaged. My generation can't seem to understand this. Awesome podcast, guys. I've been an SOE customer for life and always will be. Dude, congratulations on the house. You're about to do something that fucking, unfortunately, less and less people are doing. Fucking, it's paid off for you, obviously. Fucking congratulations, man.
It's all about that. It's all about just kind of having a work ethic and an idea of moving up. My brother did the same thing. He worked on fishing boats all through high school, and the real nice fishing boats have bow planes on them that are all fucking hydraulic operated, and when they would break, they would be like, "Hey, do you know how to fix this?" And my brother he's really smart, and he'd be like, "I don't know how to fix it, but I'll fix it." And so we started learning how to do all the stuff with the hydraulics, and he started fixing the bow planes. Once that happened, people weren't hiring people were not hiring him anymore to do deckhand stuff. They were hiring him to fix the hydraulics on the boats. High school gets over. He gets offered a job down in San Diego. I can't think of the name of the company. They work on all the Navy boats for hydraulics. He's working there for about 8 years, just fucking busting his ass, and he gets promoted. And he comes and talks to me. We're in Hawaii. This is us still in the Marine Corps, and we're in Hawaii. And I'm like, man, how did you get to go to Hawaii? He goes, I'm the only one that can pass the security clearance. So he has been promoted above people that have been in the job and senior to him by 10 fucking years, because they don't want to do any more than what's fucking, they don't want to do any more from 8 to 5. That's it. And so for that, he makes really, really good money. Just keep at it. There is opportunity. There are still a lot of opportunities out there. If you go to, when people say they're in a dead end job, they're only really in a dead end job because that's how they're treating it. There are opportunities for growth in almost every company. I mean, fuck, McDonald's will send you to college. McDonald's will send you to college. And I've said this before, I had a guy in high school. When he was fucking, I want to say you could work at 13 back then, 13 and a half, or was it 15? I don't remember. But he started working while we were all fucking around.
Because I worked at McDonald's at 13.
While we were fucking around, he started working at McDonald's. Every minute that he had time off, he was at McDonald's working. He took every shift that he could, late night shifts, whatever. Worked at McDonald's all the time. And I was like, man, you don't need that. You don't need the money that fucking bad. Why are you doing that? He goes, because in 10 years, or he said 20 years. In 20 years, I am going to own this McDonald's.
You guys used to make fun of that dude.
Yeah. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. You're not going to, whatever, shut up. And then I came home on leave. This is probably 4 years after high school, which means he was probably only working 10 years. 10 years for McDonald's. And there was a purple Corvette parked right next to the McDonald's.
What's with the purple Corvettes? We know a few buddies.
I don't know, but there's a purple Corvette parked right next to the McDonald's, and I'm like, I remember him saying something about a purple Corvette, and so go over to the McDonald's, and there he is in fucking, the corporate McDonald's uniform, and I'm like, oh shit, you're still working here? I can't believe it. I go, what are you, a manager? What are you, like a manager, district manager, something like that? He goes, no, I saved every fucking penny, and I bought this McDonald's.
Because they'll self-finance.
Yeah, I bought this McDonald's. This is my fucking McDonald's. So there's always opportunity. The world, in our world, especially here in the United States, there is always opportunity for growth. You may be somewhere where you're topped out, where there's nothing above that, but there's always opportunity. You just have to want the opportunity.
You have to seize it. I want to say the purple Corvettes actually are cheaper because nobody wants them, but that's actually...
I'll bet they were expensive back then.
They were expensive because nobody they didn't... You think Chevy built some goddamn purple Corvettes? No, motherfuckers custom ordered those ugly things.
Yeah, because...
Fucking Big Todd.
Chris, Rappaport, he ordered a fucking purple Challenger.
Yeah.
And got a purple Challenger. I think it's a Challenger.
Didn't he have a Range Rover?
Yeah, he had like two Range Rovers.
They weren't purple.
He traded them in to get the Challenger.
Yeah, Range Rover's like, we ain't doing no goddamn purple Range Rover. You can go paint that motherfucker yourself. Along the lines, so when I was 13 and a half, I worked at McDonald's. Grandpa got me a job there. Took me and fucking... I remember the manager, or at least the manager I had the most contact with, was a female. And she said, do you have any interest in management? Like, they are going to put you in a fucking completely different... You're going to learn all your stations, you're going to flip, you're going to fucking know how to do that, they're going to put you on the register, but they are going to fucking groom you. Like, if you tell them you have management interest, they're going to groom you for that. When it comes time, once you've had... And you have to, I believe you have to manage a store, there's a lot of things that go with that, but The dudes we've met that own McDonald's, they don't own one McDonald's. Yeah. They own fucking multiple McDonald's. Josh Rummerfeld's buddy who went to fly, I don't remember what his name was. He used to run with us all the time, fly planes. They had a buddy who owned 3 or 4 McDonald's, owned a fucking McDonald's on Coronado Island. Fucking, like, major shit. And that was the same story. Every McDonald's owner I've ever met, they all have that story. Like, we were all out fucking around. We were all chasing girls. We're like, why don't you go with us? Nope, I'm going to own a McDonald's. And goddamn if they didn't fucking own McDonald's. And not one. Multiple fucking McDonald's. Like, and you guys are like, oh, you own a McDonald's. You were talking about fucking millionaires. Like yeah, McDonald's carries its own fucking paper.
Millionaires, yeah.
Spirko said something else along the lines of you just have to seize the opportunity after work. He has a neighbor, or had a neighbor, who's this older dude and wrote this book. He's real into nautical shit. Like he was a sailor or something. But he's written all these awesome fucking stories about pirates. He's written these books and stuff. And he wants to start this publishing thing online for, authors. So Jack's like, okay, you need to do this, and this, and this. And you got to get this website, you got to do this. And the dude's like, oh, that's too much work. And Jack's like, it's not. It takes like 10 minutes to set this up. It's like, you got to set a Facebook, you got to do these things. He's like, I don't want to do that shit. So Jack pawns him off on Nicole Sauce, who basically builds websites and shit. Becomes a customer. He's like, that dude still to this day, this was like 3 years ago. I've heard this story multiple times. That dude didn't do anything. He wanted to talk about it. He had some fucking ideas, but come time to execute, he didn't want to do the work. And that's most people. They want to talk about owning a house. They want to talk about going and doing things. They want to talk about doing shit. They don't want to actually do that shit. And that's most of your dudes. Like when I said, congratulations, you just bought a fucking home. Less people in the United States fucking own homes than rent because it's simple to. I was one of those dudes for the longest time, didn't own any property. I would move into a house and I'm like, we're only going to stay here, or even an apartment, we're only going to stay here 6 months. I stayed in a house 8 fucking years that I was only going to stay in for 6 months because I didn't want to move the shit. I was complacent. Congratulations, dude, that fucking bought the house, man. Good for you. And the other dude, I love my I love my AK-74. Congratulations, dude, on fucking hard work. That's him, actually. You guys had mentioned cops in Atlanta using tag scanners. I'm working near the Atlanta airport right now, and there's a regular-looking Toyota Corolla with the same shit sitting on each corner of the car. I have seen those civilian cars, and you know what they look like? They actually look like smoke launchers. Like the smoke launchers on the Ferrets.
I actually thought it would be cool to have that all over the car.
The smoke launchers?
No, the cameras like that.
Oh. They literally, like the first time I saw them, Amanda goes, what's that? I go, those look like fucking smoke launchers. You know, the deployment spring-loaded ones? Yeah, I've seen the civilian cars, and then the Google cars and all that shit. Get on Google Earth and put your property in. You'll be kind of surprised at what they have of your property on aerial view and shit, too. And along with that, they don't have to come onto your property to assess your fucking property. Like, just from Google Earth and municipalities using drones now as well, they know every improvement we do on our property. Even, like, dudes don't really walk on our property because the fucking gating, the fencing, the dogs, the fucking bushes and shit.
And we're not really somewhere where people can walk on the property, right?
But they know, like, they fucking, every time fucking comes time to pay property taxes, they know all the improvements we've made every year. So, mark my words. You will never run into a large amount of troops that wouldn't kill their fellow countrymen. Yes, there is always outliers, but the majority will. Promise. Edit. Thanks for content, fellas. You will never run into a large amount of troops that wouldn't kill their fellow countrymen.
I don't think you're. I think you're.
I hope you're right.
No, that he's saying wouldn't kill, meaning they would kill.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're right. I don't think.
Oh, right. I hope you're wrong.
I don't think that. I mean, tomorrow.
It's mob mentality, man. I think a bad seed fucking corrupt. Well,
tomorrow, if they said, martial law and fucking collect all the guns, you're gonna. There are groups within those units that would be like, yeah, let's fucking go do it. But you're gonna have a lot more people that are gonna be like, fuck that. We're not gonna do that. So,
unfortunately, I think the ones that show up all will.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think the dudes are like, we're not doing that. I think they're not showing up to work.
Those guys are all cool until bullets start flying.
But I think once the bullet starts flying, first dude fires, it's kind of that mob mentality thing.
I don't think so. I don't. You have a hard. Here's the thing. Here is the truth. The truth is you have a hard enough time getting dudes, legit dudes that are trained to go to a foreign country and shoot people that we have said are bad guys. It's hard enough getting them to do that. Now do it here in the United States. I really don't think you're going to get the success rate you think you're going to get. The way the Russians did it is what they would do is with their National Guard troops. So let's say you join the California National Guard. They would take the California National Guard and they would put it in New York. And then they would take the New York National Guard and they would put it in California. Because the ties aren't there. You don't have the local ties. So when you talk about mobilizing the National Guard to do that, you have local ties. I know who the Guard guys are in Waverly. So unless they come up with some super plan like that, I see whole core units like, fuck off, we're not going to do that. And then you're going to have a lot of guys that are going to be like, hey, guess what? This is where they're going. This is what they're going to do. It'll be a mess no matter what. It'll be a fucking mess. It won't be some thing that you think happens really quick.
Response to episode 46 in emails. Email is definitely king and will get shit done. Emailed about a gym bag a while back and got one back about them when they were done. Wasn't able to get it because me and the wife are trying to make big life moves right now. And I'm taking some great advice about only spending my money on what makes me money and living how I don't want to live now so I can live how I do want to live later. Thanks for the podcast, John Skully. Nick, typically what that is, what he's talking about is if there's a product you want and we don't have it, I tell you guys to email me. What I do when you email me, I go, hey, I'll make some of these. When we have them, I'll send you an email. We email you, and we give you about 12 hours, sometimes 6. It just depends on the product before we show it to anybody. If you're not sure you want it, don't fucking do that, please. Please don't do that because we built that because you want it. That's not yelling at Nick here. But for future reference, when you guys do that, we expect you to build that. We built those because you asked for them. Skully. You ever on operations where you saw Dutch troops operating? Curious what your thought on them. Any idea on Ultimate AK Valmet Galil SG 553R?
I've operated with the Dutch in Somalia. The Dutch, the French Foreign Legion, and somebody else.
Did the Dutch have tulip gardens with them?
No.
Did they have any windmills on their tents?
They did not have any windmills or anything on their tents. Oh, the Malaysians. So there was every flag in the world was flying in Mogadishu. As far as representation, the only real teeth there was the American troops there.
Did you call it the Moog?
Yeah, we called it the Moog. The
Did
dish.
You really?
No.
The Moog? No.
But the Dutch were the Dutch and the Malaysians and the Legionnaires were kind of the badasses that really worked for the UN. It's one of those things where we say when we support an operation like that, they'll be like, we're supporting the UN, but we're still kind of on our own program. Where when the Legionnaires show up or the fucking Packies show up, they're directly under the UN. They're gonna have a fucking UN conglomerate of people that will fucking get together and decide whether they can go outside the wire today or not. Where, the Americans kind of like, hey, we're going outside the wire. We do what we want to do. But the Dutch, man, the Dutch they had these, you see them all the time, the white APCs that the UN uses, kind of common all throughout the world. But the Dutch, man, if you fucking fired, if you were in your house and you were like, boom, 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 you fired your AK at them or threw a fucking grenade, they would just turn the fucking vehicle and drive right through the fucking house. They wouldn't even fuck around. They'd drive. They had a dude fucking, it was kind of I don't want to say it was a big incident, but it was a little bit of an incident. They had a dude come out I think he threw a grenade at the truck and then fired his AK and then ran into the house. And the Dutch just fucking drove their armored personnel carrier into the house, just right into it, and then opened hatches and dropped grenades out, and then backed out and left. And then there was, and then the Malaysians were pretty, quick to go to guns too. They were going down Afgoy Road, which is like the main thoroughfare, and we, from the sniper post, we could see like about 1,200 yards down that road, and Somalis were like throwing rocks at their. It was just one APC too. Usually there's multiple vehicles. It's not just one APC, and the Somalis are throwing rocks at this fucking APC, and he's not going too fast. He's probably going about 35 miles an hour down the center of the road, and you hear like two or three gunshots, like boom, boom, 2 or 3 gunshots, and then that fucking Malaysian APC, they fire all their smoke. So they fire all their smoke, and you hear all their coaxial machine guns just they're just fucking shooting in every direction, and then fucking hauling ass down the road. So they're not really even shooting at the guys anymore. They're just shooting down the side of the road. It was pretty interesting. And then I
think that's how it should be. You call some motherfuckers in to police your shit. They're gonna fucking police your shit.
And then the by far though the best, the guys that even I would say even better than U.S. forces, the dudes that had their shit, that had that town on lockdown, were the French Foreign Legion. So the French Foreign Legion was so bad that the UN made them live out in the middle of the fucking desert. Like, they were nowhere near Mogadishu. They're out in the fucking desert. And whenever a convoy would leave the airport and go to the UN compound, what the Somalis would do is they would take little kids and they would fucking leg and arm, and they would fucking wait for that truck to come by, and then they would just throw that motherfucker at the truck.
A child?
A child. And then he would scamper into the back of the truck, and he would start throwing wood or whatever was in the back of the truck. He'd throw it out in the street so they could steal it. So it was just amazing how much shit they would get out of those trucks before they made it to the gate. And then they would jump out of the truck when it gets to the gate, and then all their guys would pick up whatever they threw out of the vehicle.
That's what you said. You'd turn a corner and not even know it happened, and you'd look over in the Humvee, and there'd be a Somali
sitting
in some U.S. gear, sitting in there with you with a life vest on or some shit.
Life vest on and shit. But the Legion.
Did you ever see any dudes in life vests?
No, I didn't see any dudes in life vests, but we saw a dude that had I believe it's a Webley pistol. It's a break-open British pistol.
Didn't you see a dude in some, like some tutus or some sequins or?
Oh yeah, they wore some crazy shit. Some of them, but so like the Legion was having a resupply convoy come from the airport, and me and Chris are sitting up on the post, just looking downrange, and I see this white guy step out. So it's just all these cross streets, and I see this white guy step out of a cross street, and I'm like, holy shit, Chris, there's a fucking white dude standing down there. And he's in green shorts, he's got some green top, a bullshit set of deuce gear on, and a helmet hanging on his fucking canteen. And we're looking at him, and I'm like, dude, he is all by himself. Like, this guy is standing on the corner all by himself, and the Somalis are crossing the street, and they're fucking just going around. And he's just standing there like this. They don't
want to fuck with this dude.
Yeah, they don't want to fuck with this dude. And he's just standing there. And he's 900 yards away from the UN compound, maybe even a little bit more. And he's just standing there, and I'm like, fuck, man. What the fuck? And so we're calling and trying to figure out what the hell's going on down here, why this white dude is standing down here all by himself, this soldier. And then you can see the convoy they circle the fucking wagons, and then they go out the gate of the airport and they start coming. And then the whole way down from the airport all the way to the UN compound, both sides of the road. You just see these fucking white dudes in their shorts step out, and then they're all holding FAMAS rifles. I'm like, holy shit, Chris, it's the fucking Legionnaires down there. Every fucking single corner, there's a fucking Legionnaire standing there, and then this fucking gun truck comes out. It's got like 9 fucking Legionnaires hanging all over it with a fucking 50 cal on top of it, and they come out and they just park in the middle of the road. The dudes get off the truck, and the 50 cal's pointed down range, and all the Somalis leave. The street is completely fucking empty. And then the trucks come through. All the trucks come through. And then the dudes just step back onto the street. I mean, I'm sure there's vehicles waiting for them, but they step back out on the street and disappear. And then all the Somalis start crossing the street again. Yeah, they knew that the fucking Legionnaires were going to fuck them up.
It's like an old movie when they were in Egypt running around.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The
only other time you'd see them is they fly those Alouette. They had those piece of shit Alouette helicopters from the fucking 60s. I mean, I don't want to say they're a piece of shit. I've never flown in one, but you know, you got Legionnaires flying these old ass 1960 Alouette helicopters into the UN compound, and
there's no EMP gonna knock them down.
Yeah, and all they do is run over to the Israeli. The Israelis had a PX. They were the only ones that could. I don't know why the Israelis. Doesn't make sense, but they were the only ones that could sell liquor. And so they would go into the PX and just get boxes of liquor and take it out to the helicopter and then fucking fly off.
You know why? Because those are the money dudes.
They control everything. They were the only ones that could sell liquor in Mogadishu.
There are so many reasons why I love the podcast, man. From what you guys stand for and represent and all the knowledge and information that you take the time out of your busy working day to impart on us. Another reason is that you both have a huge base of knowledge that you speak from. I don't think I do. Which really reminds me of my dad and the encyclopedia of information. Oh, I saw a whole encyclopedia set for sale the other day from 1950.
Man, you should have bought it.
We can get them.
Just to see all the things.
Oh
that
yeah,
changed.
You're right.
Just all the shit.
It was like gold fucking. It was gold covered, man. Like you used to have to buy that. Like a dude came to your house and sold you that shit.
Yeah, they came to your house.
Encyclopedia of information. He loved to just sit and pour into me. Keep doing what you guys are doing. It's truly appreciated. And I'll hopefully see you guys at the end of March when I take my first TAC response class. Hey Max, awesome. I didn't realize that was you. Why would you not see us? You should actually come into town early on Friday so that we can see you.
Yeah.
The weapons collection says, John, any experience with Mystery Ranch packs? Yes, fucking great piece of equipment. No exaggeration, I own 18 Mystery Ranch backpacks. I actually have some of them on display on my fucking slat wall in the back on the way up the stairwell just because they look so fucking rad. What is your opinion on them? I think I just gave it to you. I use a hot speed with a top pack, add on the Fireline as a day hunting pack, hiking pack. It's good shit. I own a ton of 3-day bags. I own their Dragon, the 3-day assault pack. I've got some of their big packs like the Saddle SATL, for armor and without armor. Like if you need to carry something, especially some shit that you shouldn't be carrying, like oxygen tanks or fucking a welding setup or chainsaws. They have a way to carry fucking everything. I'm really impressed with the company. I'm impressed with the design. I look at some of their shit and I go, we couldn't build this. Like we literally could not build this with the equipment we have in house.
Probably, yeah.
I love all their product. Nobody wants a hunting hiking pack. It's good shit. Nobody wants to be a plumber, which is dumb. Plumbing is pretty simple, and they make $60 an hour in my area. On the expensive mag thing, my FHN 57, PS 90, and FNAR all have expensive mags. Shit pissed me off when I was trying to build up my stock. Think about it. If you're gonna
FN and HK, man.
Yeah, they're smart on that shit,
They
man.
love fucking making those accessories expensive.
It's not like you're going to go buy them somewhere else, and usually when you do, they don't work. It's not like PMAG's going to spin up and fucking spin up and build them. What's the FNAR? I don't even know what that is.
FNAR, I think that's the 308.
I was an EN3 on the USS Gunston Hall, LSD-44, and I seen some meat gassers get kicked off the ship. What is a meat gasser?
I'm thinking he's seeing some gay guys kicked off the ship.
Baby toiletry bag, do. Brandon Peak, what's up? Baby shark, do. I don't even know how it goes. I'll be in Camden the last weekend of March. Would love to meet y'all peoples. What's the hours somebody should shoot for? I know to absolutely obey the speed limit in the driveway, but do we do a secret knock? Just walk in? No, when you knock, we think it's we think it's the FBI. So just walk in. Just walk in. Not 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. 8 to 5 Monday through Friday is generally your safe times. If you're coming on Friday, try to get here earlier than 5. Like I really do kick the dudes out. We're like, if you show up here at 5 o'clock, they're walking out the door. Those 2 sailors in the mailroom were deep sea diving for doo-doo fish.
Well, at least one of them was trying to.
Yeah, the other one might have been getting a raping. Skully's septic tank story had me dying. Here's your boy Daniel Marshall. I hope you good Americans get through this piss-poor left-wing phase with as little violence as possible. Please, please, please look for yourselves at how time after time communism fails. Yes, I guess most people listening to the podcast have the level-headed outlook on life. With luck, the world is getting out, and people are beginning to stand back and take a bigger picture. Anyhow, all the best.
I mean, AOC's already living that luxury life. She might change her mind once she starts seeing her bank account go up and up, but maybe not, because Bernie Sanders is the same way. That motherfucker sold out his whole party for money, and he still thinks he's a communist.
Isn't he running for president?
He's running for president because he's trying. Here's the thing: Bernie Sanders has no chance. Right? And I know I'm talking to the wrong people, but Bernie Sanders has no chance of getting the nomination for president of the United States. The Democratic Party is not going to allow it. The only thing Bernie Sanders is doing right now is getting you to pad his checkbook. That's it. If you were sending money to Bernie Sanders, you were just buying him another beach house or another fucking Audi A5.
It was R8, and they actually debunked that. He didn't actually. That actually wasn't on his car.
What was he renting it?
I don't know what it was about, but fucking Spirko actually, somebody posted that up, and Spirko said, "There's plenty of shit to be mad about." He goes, "But that one was fucking debunked."
Either way, he still has 3 houses. That's not very communist of him.
Yeah, fucking 3 million dollar houses. I had something to say with that. Oh yeah. All you people, everybody donating to those funds, just like Hillary's fund. You know, Hillary's fund paid $7 million for her daughter's wedding.
Yeah, they're not,
and she's not in jail, of course.
They're not doing anything but for themselves.
I've been researching a lot of Civil War stuff, and my phone has recently been sending me notifications on how Trump is a racist. Also, voice to text has a hard time with anything negative about liberals. Damn, is my phone a Democrat?
It is. Well, here's the thing. All your technology companies, all of them, they're all liberal, very left-leaning corporations. So very left-leaning corporations. And that's why you have the hiccups that you do as far as people getting banned or you getting all that stuff on your Facebook page about the Democratic Party or whatever. My suggestion is take the time when you get something on Facebook or on your phone, whatever, that says, the Democrat Party wants you to do this, or Donald Trump is a racist, this. Always take the time to click on it, close it out, and then when they ask you, why is this not relevant, you need to put the worst, whatever the worst one is, click that on there. And then eventually they will stop sending you that stuff.
Jeff, I'm also a wrong-handed shooter, but the only left-hand specific gun I own are bolt guns. Other than that, I don't any issue shooting. Did the Marines let you have a left-handed rifle, or did they beat you till you learned on the correct one?
There are no left-handed weapon systems in the Marine Corps.
And you don't own it. All your bolt guns were right-handed. That's why you're so fast on it.
If you're shooting if you are shooting from a supported position, a left-handed shooter on a right-handed gun will always shoot faster than a right-handed person, because all I have to do is manipulate the bolt. So I will always be able to beat somebody. I was always able to beat a right-handed guy because I can manipulate the bolt faster than he can. So I actually have no interest in a left-handed bolt gun. There's just no, it doesn't, because I guess I would say it's kind of like a left-handed knife. So Strider made some left-handed folders.
Fuck, so did Emerson.
Yeah, so Strider made some left-handed folders, and not a lot of them. And they got out there and they spread around in the world. And Dwayne had actually given somebody a left-handed folder that wanted he was right-handed. And he was like, Dwayne gave me this. And I'm like, oh shit, left-handed folder. I need to have that.
You had somebody else that wanted one of those.
Yeah.
Who the fuck was that?
Wasn't it Justin?
Souders. Yeah, I'll bet it was.
And so I'm like, oh shit, yeah, let me get that. I'm left-handed. So we swapped out, and I got this left-handed knife, and I literally used it for maybe half a day. The problem is, I have been opening right-handed knives for so long that it was just in the wrong spot. No matter what I was doing, I would be trying to open the wrong side. I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. And it got put away, and I don't know what happened to it.
I have a Tad Gear Dauntless. It's left-handed. I cannot fucking open it. I physically can't. You can't open it right-handed, and with my left hand, I can't.
Did we make that? Did Strider make that Dauntless?
No, I don't, it wasn't a Strider. It was. But I have this Tad Gear Dauntless. It's fucking. I guess, and I gave it. I'll bet I gave it to Justin. Yeah. I'll bet he got it.
So left-handed stuff is not. I'm never looking for something left-handed. I figure it. Well, I take it back.
I have a left-handed telephone.
Yeah, my Steyr AUG is left-handed. My Galil is left-handed. Those are the only two left-handed guns I have, and that's just because of the ejection problem. I can shoot the right-handed one. I can shoot it right-handed just fine, but...
You really want to fuck some dudes up? Let's take the shotgun cards and put a left-right-hand option on them. Oh, I love it. Didn't I just see red fucking shotgun card? Oh, no, that was that Raid. Crystal Fox's Raid Red Thread cop rig. Skully, when I retired from USMC, I apprenticed for an electrical contractor here in CLNC. We offer a 4-year program, and upon graduation, they receive a certificate through the Department of Labor. Electricians always have work, and we have a shortage of young people taking up the trades. Average age in North Carolina for electricians is in the 50s. By the way, I ordered an EDC belt. Thank you, man.
That's a lot of the trades. A lot of the trades, the average age is fucking going up there, and that's why, they say that the generation that is graduating high school now, more of them are going into trades because...
Goddamn comfort.
Well, more of them are going into trades because they realize that the lie that the other generations were told about going to college...
Wait till that bubble busts.
...is exactly a lie. So there's a lot more younger people going into trades right this minute, but yeah, as an average, like, I think fucking truck drivers, I want to say the average for truck drivers right now is 68 years old. So it's...
Damn.
That's why I say it's good to get it. Any of those trades, any electrical, fucking plumbing, anything that people don't think about on a daily basis, but when they don't work, it becomes an emergency. Anything like that, whatever it is, you're going to pay whatever. Nobody calls a plumber and goes, $60 an hour. No, they don't. If they need to call a plumber, it's because there's fucking water rushing into their house, or they can't take a shit because their toilet doesn't work. All they want is that fixed, and they're going to pay whatever the price is.
Think about it. When we had that party here, and we had the septic guys. I'm like, I'll pay you $200. You come here next. I'll hand you $200 the second you get on the property.
Yep.
We need to pause for a second from this.
Okay.
Did India just go to war with fucking Pakistan last night and bombed each other? Isn't there some fucking shit going on and nobody's talking about it?
I did not hear anything, but India and Pakistan have India and Pakistan hate each other.
Both nuclear countries.
Both nuclear countries. They hate each other really bad.
Fucking one sent an incursion in. They fucking shot some planes down. Some bombs were dropped.
Really?
Yes, last night.
I did not hear anything about it. I'll have to look it up tonight. But yeah, India and Pakistan hate each other. Hate.
Did you? I didn't realize. I haven't looked at the fucking globe, but I didn't realize that India is fucking so close to fucking Burma.
Yeah, it's all part of that.
It's all right there. Yeah. As you went up there, fucking those are all Vietnamese looking people, like all of them. That's where all the fucking teak wood and shit is.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching a bunch of shit on. So do we get a free Tibet? Can we put free Tibet stickers on our car once we go?
Free Tibet, but Tibet is not.
Whatever.
It's not part of India. It's part of China.
Whatever.
That's why it's free Tibet.
Whatever.
The Chinese.
Can we put the sticker on or not?
Yeah, we can
Free
put
Burma?
sticker on. Free Burma. We can do free Burma.
We can go up and do some landmine removal or something. Another great video. Skully is right about the placebo effect. In the mid-'70s, I was in the 9th grade. At the time, I was in boring class. So I imagined smoking a really good joint and walking out of class. I was high with red eyes and all. My poop story: in my first tour in the Navy, a friend of mine needed help removing large poop pump, so I helped. No big deal until the job was done. When I was informed that I was required to get a goddamn gamma globulin shot, and it was a big pain in my ass. Yeah, a fucking golf ball size pain in your ass. After the shot, I was bitching about it and learned that if you put the vial under your armpit for 30 minutes, it doesn't hurt. I never did that job again. Love the story. Who the fuck was that? Pat Davis.
I imagine they have some serious poop problems on ship.
Skully, never trust a bagman.
Yeah, never trust a bagman. When on my first deployments, so here's the beautiful thing about having women aboard ship, is everything, all your comfort items get better if there's women aboard the ship. But on my first deployment, they ran out of toilet paper. And here's the problem when you run out of toilet paper and you're on a fucking naval vessel in the middle of the ocean.
No phone books.
Whatever is available, somebody is going to use for toilet paper.
And it's going to go down the toilet.
So they started cutting up sheets and fucking wrecked the plumbing on that ship. Just wrecked the plumbing on the ship. I remember every day, it did not matter what we did, how many times we mopped the bathroom. So the bathroom floor, there was always an inch, just about an inch and a half of water on the floor, sloshing back and forth. So no matter what flip-flops you had when you were going to take your shower, your shoes, your feet were always getting that
poop water,
bathroom water back and forth on your feet.
And you couldn't drop your trowel. Get in the fucking water. You have to take your pants off. You guys should talk about the video that I seen on the Daily Shooter the other day. Door-to-door gun confiscation in California. I really cannot believe what I was seeing and cannot believe that it was happening in America. It probably wasn't. I don't think you actually were seeing what they're telling you. Probably most likely is not the case. Unreal, unbelievable, and yet all of us sit on our asses and let this happen. What happened to they are not taking my shit, they will never go door to door? Yeah, okay, not my state. Yeah, okay, I don't know. It's getting crazier and more fucked up by the day. Is this? Did it really happen?
Yeah, here's the problem. Here's what you are seeing. They are not going here. Hard to quantify. They are going California is going door to door to confiscate weapons. They have a task force. They have a task force that does that. And currently,
but door to door, like,
well, yeah, they're going to people's houses.
All 5 houses on the fucking
cul-de-sac? No, they're not. That's not what they're doing. So they have a task force to confiscate weapons of felons. So they have this task force. The sole purpose of that task force is to confiscate guns from felons. And what I mean by felons is, so not a lot of people know about this, but you can get adjudicated a felony in California. Like, hey, you did, I don't know what you did. You threw fucking ice cream at a little kid and now you're a felon. California has felonies for everything. But let's say domestic abuse or anything. When they rule on that, they punish you and do all that stuff, and then you have a felony on your record, and you go home. You just go home. The court is not going. The court doesn't go, hey man, do you have guns? If you have guns, you have to turn those guns in. In some cases, they actually do say that, where they're like, okay, yeah, we're going to release you. We're going to release you on your own, on your own accord, but you have to turn these guns in. And there was a shit ton of guns in the state of California that are owned by felons, known felons, that did not turn those in. Meaning, these are guns that you bought from a gun store, and that gun is registered in your name, and the state of California knows that you have that gun. It's part of the reason why they did the re-registration of all firearms in the state of California, because they want to know who has the gun, so when it's time to go get the gun, they can go get the gun. But what is being confiscated right now is felons. So they are going to people's houses, and they're like, hey, remember 10 years ago when you got in trouble for throwing the ice cream at the little kid? And the guy's at the door going, yeah, I remember. We need that fucking pistol you have. And the dudes are handing over the guns because they're, at that point, what are you going to do? He's already a felon. So, yes, California, the state of California is confiscating guns. They do have a task force that's their sole purpose. Look at the funding issues they're having right now. They cannot keep anybody in those positions. Everybody is fucking quitting those jobs.
Plus people are
quitting that job. So it's really a function of the court. Somebody is getting convicted of a felony. The court is not requiring the firearm to be turned in immediately. That person is going home and hanging out there for 10 years. And then they go, oh, by the way, this guy has a gun because you just re-registered all your guns or you bought a registered firearm. And then they send these guys to your house to get that gun.
Are they arresting them?
They are not arresting them. They're just confiscating the gun. Also, here's another thing that most people don't know, and you should be aware of in California. If you have a felony. So, Billy Bob, you threw that ice cream at the little kid when you were 17, and you got a felony, and you have a felony, but you've got a clean record, and you decide to get married, and you marry your wife, and she has guns, she cannot have those firearms. They can come and confiscate those firearms. So as soon as those two names meld together, and they see she has guns, they can come and confiscate those firearms because California considers access based off of mutual living arrangements. So if you live together, they consider that access. Felons can't have access to firearms, and they will come and confiscate those guns. I think in that scenario they kind of do the your dad should have these guns or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if they immediately confiscate those either, but you should be aware that if you have a felony and your spouse has firearms, you are in violation of the law. They could technically arrest you. But they don't care about, or remember, they're not looking to arrest people. They're not looking to get people put in jail. What they are looking to do is making sure you don't have a gun. Because as long as you don't have a gun, then the government can do whatever they want. They can enforce whatever they want. And that's what this is all about. That's why California has so many soft felonies. And a soft felony means as soon as you cross the state line, that felony doesn't mean shit anywhere else in the United States. It's all about getting people's guns. That's all it's about.
Is there any plans to bring back the Molly seatback panels? Funny you should ask. I actually have a batch of them right in front of my sewing machine. Cut. You'll probably see some soon. Rocky montage engage. I dispatched stray cats. Love the podcast, guys. The septic tank was priceless. I laughed so fucking hard. The funniest thing in my life are always the simplest things. Keep it up. I'm looking forward to seeing outdoor activity videos. Oh, by the way,
I'm not looking forward to it.
Really?
No.
You don't like going outside and shit?
Not when I got to dig holes for 900 trees.
But you didn't dig any holes.
Oh yeah,
I guess
we
you
did.
You
We
did.
did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
But I got you really.
Me and you dug more fucking holes and did more shovel work out there than any of the dudes.
But I got you a really cool tractor.
Yeah, I mean the tractor's fun, but it's still.
Love the podcast, guys. Oh, by the way, love the podcast. Caught every episode so far. It's nice to just listen to other people of like mind and their different opinion on stuff. Skully has a great outlook on just about everything. I love hearing your ideas and everything. Keep it up, y'all. John, what should I do about ungrateful, rude, and hateful stepkids and their mother doesn't do shit about raising them into decent and good human? Get a different bitch. Get a side bitch with a better pussy.
Take.
She probably has a better pussy. That's why you're tolerating this. Beat the fuck out of them. I don't know, what state are you in? I don't have any good advice for you. That's a pretty terrible situation. What do you got?
That's it.
One is 6,
no
one's
good
7,
advice.
the other's 13. All are girls.
The good thing about sometimes, this is not a hard and fast rule. This is not a hard and fast rule, but girls tend to, if what you're saying is true, and your ex-wife or your ex-girlfriend is a total cunt, girls tend to sniff that stuff out later in life.
This is the chick he's with. These are his stepkids.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to get some different pussy. That's all I'm saying. Just get some different pussy.
Like we've all, well, I don't know if Jeff has, but I mean, we've been in that. I've been in that situation, man. I don't know, like Amanda and I fucking all of our fights, like 99%.
It seems like it because you two have been so much nicer since.
99% of all of our fucking issues were all over fucking kids.
Yeah.
Skully, 300 Blackout or 7.6239? Not AR or AK. Which caliber and why? I'm a 300 Blackout guy.
Not AR or AK.
What do you want? A fucking bolt action? H&H fucking handy rifle?
I don't know. I would say 300 Blackout. I would say 300 Blackout solely because the AR platform is better than the AK platform. I would say that solely. And the other issue is, you know,
what the fuck are you?
The AK.
What are you
is very,
shooting a 300 out of that's not a fucking AR?
Well, they have bolt gun. But
yeah, but they got these other things. You might have even heard of them, like 30-06, 308, 300 Win Mag.
Yeah, I mean,
30-30. I mean, come on, fucking 30-30. You can at least you can shoot it quick. You can get cool shit for them now.
The problem is when people are comparing 300 Blackout to 7.62 by 39, it's a supersonic question. What's the comparison between them at supersonic? Right? I'm shooting, and they're pretty close.
You want a 44 sub?
Yeah, but they're pretty close.
And put it in a lever action.
But a fucking a 300 Blackout. The reason why they're only justifiable. There's only one justifiable reason to have 300 Blackout. Only one, and that is because you can go suppressed, you can go subsonic, and supersonic ammunition in the same gun through the same suppressor without having to fuck around with anything. So I can just change the magazine. Boom. I go inside the building. I'm shooting subsonic. Boom, boom, boom. I go outside the building. I got to shoot a little further. I'm putting in my supersonic rounds. Boom. I'm good. You can't do that with an AK. You just can't. AK-47, you can't do it. And a lot of the AKs, because of the way they're built, it's really hard to fucking suppress an AK. Like, it's not just, you know, that's why you don't see a bunch of fucking suppressed AKs. So, and then, where do you get the subsonic ammunition? I mean, I know that the Russians probably make subsonic ammunition for the AK, but does it function? Blah, 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 blah. Fuck it. 300 Blackout all day long.
300 Blackout is like... 300 Blackout's like the dude that wants a sport motorcycle, so he goes and buys a Cajiva or Ducati or some Triumph. Something fucking weird when you could get a Honda or Yamaha, something you could actually get parts for. You're the dude that wants a supercar goes and buys one of 3 and you can't fucking drive it because parts don't exist when really you should have got a Lamborghini.
The only reason why people buy AKs, the truth be told, is the only reason why they buy
AK
AK
cheaper.
is because they think
ammo.
they're cheaper and the ammo's cheaper because they're fucking cheap.
They couldn't give them motherfuckers away before you could put flashlights and shit on them.
Yeah.
John, last podcast you talked about guys straight ripping off your designs. What advice would you give to someone dealing with the same problem? Is living well the best revenge, or do you punch the cunt in the mouth next time you see them at a trade show? I wouldn't... Well,
Yeah, don't punch them in the mouth.
Also, best chest rig for a chick with big tits. Going to need one in purple. Keep crushing the podcast. Trout, I don't know what your venue is. I don't know what your product is. Don't ever fucking
Don't get confrontational because you'll lose your business.
Yeah, you'll lose your... Because everybody's so litigious now. Like, you're going to get sued over it. Are they really copying you? Or are you guys both making something that somebody else made before both of you? Just fucking do better, man. There's a lot of dudes out talk a lot of shit about us. You don't see us mention other people's names. Because if we mentioned their names, typically we're going to drive more traffic to them than they could get on their own. Just us, and just the people that don't like us going and liking their page would double their fucking fan base, which will up their algorithms. Create a better product, give better service, build a community. I mean, we've done pretty well about building. I see guys comment all the time. I got comments today on a fucking video that Pablo and I put out like fucking 4 years ago. And that's one of the comments was, you guys have really done well building the community around this. And then when I was on live feed today, just back there sewing, people were like, man, I've never seen a business that shows so much of the inside. Like, you've really built community around just showing the day-to-day operations. I actually commented on a post the other day about somebody making flashlights, and I might be wrong. Somebody, said, I'm good with these flashlights made in Alabama. I go, who the fuck's making flashlights in Alabama? There's a company, but basically they look like all of the other flashlights coming from all of the other, import companies. And I said, this guy who's making flashlights, when you look through his Facebook page, there is no fucking video of him making flashlights. There's a bunch of pictures of him holding flashlights and selling flashlights in boxes of flashlights, but everything he is showing is a turnkey product. We manufacture. I'm fucking proud of that. Like, we build everything that goes out of this shop was made by a fucking somebody in the United States. Not only somebody in the United States, a fucking U.S. citizen. Like, we build that shit. You can walk. I can walk through here. You can watch any fucking day. You can see a video, a live feed video, and you're gonna see not only the raw goods. You're gonna see dudes cutting the material. You're gonna see ladies sewing the material. You're gonna see the sewing machines. We build that shit. I don't even know why I went off on this.
Because the flashlight, the guy's probably not. He's probably not actually manufacturing flashlights.
He came back with a very good reply, and he says that he does manufacture. My feeling is maybe he's like a lot of knife guys. They just kind of sharpen a knife. They put a handle on a knife and sharpen a knife. A lot of knife guys, a lot of people don't realize that they're not actually. Like, when I watched Mick and Dwayne, when I watched Dwayne make the first knife I ever saw him make, he took a piece of steel and put blue paint on it, layout fluid. Took a pattern that he had made out of a balsa wood stick, a paint stirrer, etched it on there, and then took a chop saw and cut off as much metal as he could. That wasn't a lot of metal that came off of that motherfucker for the handguard and shit. The rest of that shit was all stock removal. It was all fucking sparks and metal and fucking burning fucking metal fragments and shit you don't want to breathe. And like, that's how they did it. Fast forward, most dudes that start out making knives, they don't do stock removal like that. They send it to a water jet, and even water jet now will do the bevel and shit. 95% of that knife is fucking done before it's ever delivered to them. And I figure that's probably the case. He's using like a machine shop to make these, right? And I could be completely wrong. I might not know what the fuck I'm talking. I honestly couldn't even tell you the name of the company or the dude's name at this point. He came back with a very, very good reply, very in detailed. But I don't know what.
My thing with that is, John always says about showing stuff, and if you are This isn't 1985, man. We don't have to fucking send the film into Costco to get it developed and then wait a week.
And when you get there, they've got paper up because it's naked pictures of your girlfriend. I had that happen many times.
1985 and shit. You know, everybody has a camera in their phone, and a picture's worth 1,000 words. If I say, yeah, he's probably not making those flashlights in Alabama. He's probably just assembling parts that are coming from China. It'd only take 2 seconds to go, here's my lathe turning, making those fucking flashlights, boring them out right now. Right? 2 seconds.
We're doing this, man.
You know, 2 seconds. It would take 2 seconds, boom, and then he wouldn't have to spend 20 minutes trying to explain it on fucking on the, you know, whatever other forum. Here's the video of me making these fucking Here's the video of me making these flashlights. You know what I'm saying? It's just, and I don't care one way or the other. If he's flying fucking parts in from China and assembling them and then selling them as made in America, there's a bunch of companies that do that. But
yeah,
you know, if you say, here's the thing, if you say you manufacture something, then you probably should be actually manufacturing it.
And maybe he is.
All right, and maybe he is.
Pause this. Let's go see what Jack's here.
Jack who?
Only Jack we know.
No.
Yeah.
The general? Do I need to turn this off?
Come on. Let's go.
What do I got to do?
Yeah, turn it off.
Turn it off. Okay, I'm turning it off. And action. Take 2.
It's nice to see Jack. There's only one. There's about one man in this world that we would have come out of the closet for.
I cannot believe all the troubles that the railroad has.
Well, that means he's doing a really good job because you don't fucking hear about him.
That's right.
They take care of those problems.
They take care of those problems.
When the railroad has a problem, that's a fucking sizely problem. That's some major shit gone wrong. John, where's Babyhead? Did you say you shipped him off to somewhere? Yeah, Merchant Marines. John, last podcast you talked about guys straight ripping off. Oh, we did that one.
Yeah, did that one. Good.
Digging the podcast. 2007 CSX train derailed. Weird.
That is fucking weird. We just talked to CSX. That is weird.
CSX is leaving the property right now. We're having a rail line put in. Digging the podcast. 2007 CSX train derailed in the county I live in. If you were living in a certain radius of the area, they gave everyone $100. All you had to do was sign paper. People flocked to the guy's big corporation covering their asses. Also, I've been in the septic business for 14 years, supported my family taking shit from everybody.
we had a train derail in Waverly that wiped out part of the town,
half the town.
And the only thing they gave Waverly was a
old caboose.
Old caboose with a candle lit inside.
I would like to have that caboose.
Oh, I would love to have the caboose.
I would. I'd like to have like an army caboose. Those old army trains.
It'd be interesting to know how many have survived. I bet they're really hard to find. I feel like it's Jack driving around the building.
I feel like it's a different big truck driving around the building. Because it's a nice day out. You know, they're out cutting trees and shit.
Could be. But it seems like it's doing something right out here.
I want to hook them dudes up next time they're here.
Which dudes?
All the tree guys.
Oh.
I figure we'll give them all tool bags or something. Except there's probably one that just has like a smug look on his face. So we're gonna walk out and hook all those guys up and not that dude.
Not that dude.
I'm certain you guys know about all the shit sniffer jokes and labels, but goddamn, when we need you, and we're glad to pay. Shit sniffer. I don't know where all this shit sniffer stuff's coming from. Hear it?
Yeah.
Speaking of trades, the first day I apprenticed for someone, he shook my hand, and before he said anything else, he said, "I will never ask you to do anything I wouldn't do myself. Ask questions. No question is a stupid question." Then he introduced himself. Those 2 sentences set the bar at my job and actually changed my entire thought process on how I deal with people around me that I work with.
That's somebody you want to apprentice under. That guy right there.
100%. And I'll bet that has changed the tone of your life. I'll bet that has change the whole fucking outlook on life. I mean, somebody eventually will be apprenticing under you. Like, that's going to be one. You have those. We all cross those people in life, and we don't realize it until much later on. How much they actually fucking molded you. Like, a piece of that dude lives with you. Like, that dude instilled that into you now. Like, I tell my kids all the time, I'm like, this isn't going to mean anything to you right now, but in 20 years, you're going to know what I meant. As part of my business, I have bought less of tack gear from returns, but not one piece of I've bought lots of tack gear from returns, but not one piece of SOE gear. John, do you live in Camden? Edward Bentley. Are you not the Bentley that's all over our social media? Yeah, I live in Camden. That's
John
a weird
lives in Camden.
question. Does this dude live in Camden, maybe? Actually, I'm not in Camden. I'm outside of city limits, but yes, Camden area. Where is the Me Too movement for persecuting Jeffrey Epstein? What do you two make of it?
Jeffrey Epstein is a Democrat. He gives
Untouchable.
millions and millions of dollars to the Democrat Party and is currently protecting a former president. So the Me Too movement is not going to say anything about Epstein. I mean, when's the last time you heard the Me Too movement? When's the last time you actually heard the Me Too movement say anything about Harvey Weinstein? Oh, it's weird. That guy has just disappeared from the news.
We're too busy eating our own. We're too busy lighting Surefire on fire and selling all our Benchmade knives. You guys, all that energy you put into fucking being mad at the gun community, maybe you should ask those fucking questions and put that energy into that shit. How about all the pedophiles and Pizzagate? Skully mentioned that when you guys transition into women, their body... Oh, when guys. I thought he said us. Hold on, let me start over.
Let's see.
Skully mentioned that when guys transition into women, their body thinks their inner is a wound, and their body tries to constantly fix that. What about for women when they turn their inner into an outer? Are they now men? What happens?
No, they are never men. You're biologically there is nothing that we can do scientifically to change your biology. We can outwardly, we can strap some stuff on you and put a knob here and a little piece of ribbon there to make you look like you're somebody else, like you're a different gender, but you will always, gender-wise, you will always be male. When they dig Bruce Jenner up 100 years from now, when they dig Bruce Jenner up, they're gonna look at his skeleton and go, "Oh, a dude." You're not changing the reality is you're just putting lipstick on a pig. Nobody is actually changing their gender.
You're not allowed to say that. That's hateful.
Well, I don't care. It's the truth.
Who got in trouble for that?
Fucking
all kinds of pig.
All kinds of people get in trouble for that. But that's all they're really doing is putting lipstick on a pig. I'm not sure about the female.
They can build a penis. They can put a Reebok pump in there so you can pump it up and let it get hard.
I don't think the body...
It doesn't make semen. It doesn't fucking ejaculate. Like, he can't come.
I don't think the body rejects the fake penis. I guess I would say it's kind of like a set of titties. The difference is you actually have to, in order for a male transition, you actually have to create a wound. So the body is always trying to get rid of that wound. But I'm sure even still with the female transition, she's got to take medication for the rest of her life. So I don't know.
Testosterone and all kinds of shit.
But anyways, you cannot make a female and you cannot make a male. You can't transition them. They're always either going to be female or they're always either going to be male. They're just going to have a ribbon and some fucking lipstick on them, and it's going to make you think it's something else.
When they stop taking the meds,
even the hormones, like Chuck said,
they go back. You can bandage them titties up all you want until you have them fucking cut off. Those are still titties.
And even after you cut the titties off and you take male testosterone and you put the bolt-on dick, the day you stop taking the testosterone, your body's going to go, guess what? I am actually a woman. I am not a man. Thank you very much for not taking the testosterone anymore, and it's going to start producing estrogen again, and you are going to turn back into a woman.
And your flat titties are going to fucking leak. I don't know if they're going to leak. Skully, tell us the story about how you were in L.A. riots and those Marines shot again. Tell us again.
That's a good story. I've told it 100 times.
John, on an old podcast, you talked about what the third world countries would do if they received toilets like Bill Gates wants. You said they'd make a shank out of it. I don't remember saying that. I think they'll use them as something like a cooking pot, or even like what they did in the film Tremors, where they stored their beer inside the toilet via a mini fridge. John and Skully, I completely agree with your viewpoints regarding the modern day Civil War. It would absolutely devastate the nation and likely the world. I believe many people fantasize about this scenario because of their desensitization from media, video games, etc. It blows my mind how ill-informed so many people are when it comes to the current status of our country. Think about this. A lot of people hate their lives, which really is choices. They didn't fucking do anything to change their path. So they're working a job, they have bills, they have responsibilities. A lot of them have fucking families they don't fucking want. They have a dream of something else. If the fucking power went out tomorrow, that's a level playing field. Like, if you don't have to go to work and the IRS isn't coming to the door and the tax man's not coming to the door and there's nobody to collect those tolls and those fees anymore, we become farmers. Like, you have to make for yourself. The economy starts over. You get to build yourself from zero. But more importantly than that, you're on a level playing field. There's going to be people ahead of you because they have more power, more strength, more personnel, more land that they started with. But typically, you get to start over, and you get to you just get to start over. And I think that's what a lot of people's. It's not that they want the Civil War; they want a new beginning. I think a lot of them, and this is kind of because that's with the survival fiction. Now, what they don't realize is most of them, not all of them, most of them, they were lazy when the power was on. They're going to be fucking lazy when the power's out. But you're going to fall by the wayside a whole lot faster. Like, you don't get to go inside to the air conditioning and crack a beer open and go, I'll just do some work on the internet later. You actually have to fucking turn a shovel. You have to sleep when it's dark. You have to get up before it's fucking daylight. You have to post guards. Like, it's going to be much different than people think it will be. But that, a lot of it, like, it's a reset. Like, if the power went out tomorrow, we wouldn't be sowing all this shit. We'd be fucking tilling that ground outside and getting seeds in there and fucking protecting what we have. We'd be a bunch of people would be coming together. But I think that's a lot of it, is that people just don't like the lives they have, and that's kind of the deal.
Democrats are just miserable.
I believe many people fantasize about the scenario because of the desensitization, video games, etc. It blows my mind how ill-informed people are who want to come to the current status of our country. But yeah, I think that's a lot of it.
We've been very fortunate here in the United States. We live a very fortunate and charmed life. Anybody, your fucking, all your fucking Me Too movement. Nowhere in the history of the world have women ever had it better. Nowhere. There's nowhere in the history of the world where women have not had it better than here in the United States. Here in the United States, we've created that. They have opportunity that they've never had any other time in history. We have one of the highest. We live to a higher age than anywhere else in the world. I know what you're going to say is the death rate, just the overall age just went down. The reality is, the reason why it went down is because of all the suicides. It has nothing to do with the longevity of people living in this country. You're still going to live to 84 if you don't put a fucking gun in your mouth or you don't fucking put a needle in your arm.
Your huge death rates, like especially like gun violence, for instance. Most of that's self-inflicted. Like, they don't ever give you those numbers. But let's go back even a little bit further. You have to go back 100 years to where people were dying from lack of water in the United States. You have to. I mean, you've never seen hunger. Yes, there's some people. There's some shit that happens, but for the majority, the population hasn't seen hunger in the United States. There's not animals that are coming and eating your children. Like, we live a life
We live it.
You don't realize how the United States, like when they talk about top 1%, our homeless people are in the top 1% when you fucking add them into the world population, and you look at financial stability and financial like bank account and personal wealth.
The truth
our fucking poorest people in the United States, we have people in prison making more money than people in other countries make.
The truth be told, we currently live, no matter what the fucking Democrats want to tell you, if you just look at numbers, if you look at the statistics, we currently live in the best time, in the best country that the world has ever seen. Depending on how other civilizations ended. But we do. We live in the best time, in the best place that the world has ever seen. Nobody has it better here in the United States. There's nobody in the United States. Just like John said, even our down and out, our poor, are doing better here than most of the rest of the world. This is the best country in the world, and it's that way because of the values and the way we have run things.
2 weekends ago, I was around homeless people, hundreds of them, within arm's reach of them. They had queen-size fucking mattresses. Like, stacked up. Like the city issued them out, is what it looked like. They legitimately had 3 and 4 mattresses stacked on top of each other with blankets and comforters. I saw them as they were roaming around through the day. They all were on cell phones. Like, if we wanted to go and snatch it up, like if it was a sport to snatch up homeless people, we wouldn't have even had to snuck up on them. We just throw the van open and fucking throw them in and fucking sell them for medical experiments or whatever. Like, every one of them just zombieing around on a cell phone. It was fucking crazy. I didn't see any crack pipes. I didn't see any needles out on the ground. I didn't see any poop. They all had trash cans the city issued out under every fucking underpass in Louisville that I was at. They had fucking... Our homeless people live better than fucking most people in other parts of the world. Skully hit it on the head. The number one problem in the world is no one wants to take responsibility for their actions. It was my fault. I was late. The alarm didn't go off. It wasn't my fault. I was late. The alarm didn't go off. I know the menu says the burger comes with onions, but I don't like onions. I want a new one for free. I punched, kicked, scratched my boyfriend. He should go to jail for hitting me back. That was it.
Yeah, there's no consequences. We've created this whole universe of where there are no consequences anymore, so people can say and do whatever they want to do. That's why you have all these people that are emboldened to think that they can just go up to somebody and take their hat off, or punch them on the street because of some political view. That is solely because they feel like there's no consequences. I find it funny every time it happens, and then they're like, oh yeah, that guy went to jail and he's in jail right now. Or the most recent one is the lady who attacked the dude while he was eating dinner in front of the 3 cops, who they immediately arrested her. And then they found out she was here on an expired visa, and they're gonna fucking deport her ass. She's getting deported. She has been living in this country for 10 years. She's been living in this country for 10 years. Probably has a family. Probably lives a pretty normal life. But because of some bullshit that she doesn't even know why she's doing it. Like, attacking a red hat that says Make America Great. You don't even know why you're doing it. You don't even know why you think that that's bad. She does not even know why she's doing it. And now she's getting fucking deported. Her whole life has been uprooted because she did some shit that the media has programmed her to do.
Wasn't the Make America Great? Wasn't that another president's slogan?
I don't know if it was or not. It might be. It might not be a big...
And he came up with, again, and truth be told, it probably wasn't him that came up with it. It's his handlers or whatever.
It's like the Covington kids, when they were like, oh, these fucking kids with their Make America Great hat. Go to Washington and walk in the mall. There are vendors every 20 feet selling those fucking hats. Every 20 feet selling Make America Great hats. That hat was not the problem. Was not the problem at all.
My history teacher in high school, graduated in 89, would always pound into us how each of the Allies contributed to winning World War II. he would say the British paid in time, the U.S. paid in material, the Russians paid in blood. The number of Russian deaths, civilian and military, related to war is over 26 million.
Yes, and then, Stalin immediately killed another 30 million of his own people.
Yeah.
Right after the war.
When I said the Russians, when I said look at the Russian numbers, we're so we're very focused on the Germans, the Nazis, the SS, the Auschwitz, the death camps, right? The Russians killed more people than they did, but you don't ever hear those numbers. The death camps, China fucking killed tons of people, like decimated population.
I want to say China after World War II killed 36 million of its own people.
The Japanese ran camps, like everybody had these camps. You only hear about the one fucking side of that. Daniel Marshall replies and says, do you know that's one of the best analysis of World War II I've heard? And yes, the Russians lost huge numbers. They lost huge numbers. They killed as many of their own as well, which people don't talk about because you don't know it. You're not fucking taught that. Graduated in 90, made it through all 4 years of high school without any history class. What the fuck? 30 days before graduation, guidance counselor said that I couldn't graduate. Wow. I said, you'd better have a solution. Next day, hands me an American history book. She said, pick out one chapter, read it, and write up a book report. I received a B and graduated. Private school education at its finest. My father is a history buff and has turned me on to all kinds of history books as an adult.
They don't want you to read history because they want to be able to repeat it. They want to be able to throw shenanigans over your eyes and you not realize that.
They don't want you to know what's coming.
We already tried this shit and it didn't work.
Gentlemen, great podcast as always. I work for my local county government and do a lot of driving and can't stand the nonsense playing on the radio and will replay podcasts and older videos and just listen to them in my truck. It really helps pass the time and gives a lot to think about. John, I'm looking forward to one day soon purchasing my first EDC belt. But, like you and Skully have said before, take care of your priorities first and save your money. I am working on my new $0. Forever it has been zero. Yeah. But after hearing you, I have made a goal to have 1,000 as my zero, and then 2,000, and so on. Skully, as an Army veteran, I love to hear stories from good time and bad past. Cheers, gentlemen. Right on, man.
Yeah, that
fucking
keep
good
at
on
it. Just keep at it.
Good on you.
Get a little bit in there, man. So, right now they say the average American cannot afford a $500 emergency. The average American.
How many? Well, fucking look. I'm not talking about any specific person. All of us are on Facebook. I think we can agree on that. Look at your friends list. Every single fucking day, one of them is having an emergency. There's usually a common theme to it. It's the same people having emergencies, but that's the deal. And these are people with jobs. These are people that own fucking businesses. It's people who, when they get a little fucking money, they blow. I did that shit forever. I guess I was just lucky that when bad things happened, I could hustle and always had the fucking ability. And I don't think it's that I was anything special. I think it's that bad shit happens and there's no sense in dwelling in it, so continue to fucking move on. When you're not sure what to do, always fucking do something. I think that's the difference between... I think that's the difference between me and 99.9% of the fucking other people out there. Bad shit happens. Bad shit happens every fucking day. You don't hear me telling you about bad shit. Why? Why dwell on it? Fucking, I'm going to tell you about other shit, and we're going to do fucking business, and you're going to give me some money, and I'm going to build some fucking cool shit. And then I'm going to go blow all my fucking money again. It's a big perpetual thing. I have to be in a state of turmoil and have to have a fucking emergency to motivate me to go do awesome shit. Like that's how it is, man. If I go buy a Lamborghini this weekend and everybody comes in, there's a Lamborghini in there, I probably won't have payroll. I might have a couple payrolls worth of payroll after that. But I'm going to have to fucking stay home this weekend and do some fucking work. These guys, they're not ever going to know that there wasn't fucking payroll. All these guys sitting out here, they're never going to know that. Never, ever, ever, not one fucking time ever in my whole life of paying fucking employees have I ever missed fucking payroll. Never has a check bounced. Never has my fucking people not had fucking payroll. Ever. Not one fucking ever time. Even when terrible shit happened, and on Monday, I fucking, like on fucking Tuesday and Wednesday, I couldn't pay them. They were always paid. I always fucking made it happen somehow. Even when all those things, and like when something would happen like that, it was never something I did. It's not because I went and bought a new car or anything. It was always something unforeseen. That's why I say your zero should always be fucking, $10,000, whatever it is you're comfortable with.
When you say average American can't do a $500 emergency, that's a choice. They're making that choice,
and actually they can, really, they can. They just don't want to sell their gun or that set of tires they just bought, or take some of their kids' fucking games down, pawn something. Everybody has something.
Everybody has something, but I mean,
they'd rather fucking cry about it and hope somebody gives them some money on Facebook than sell some of their shit.
If you just start putting $1 a day away, you'll have $500 before you know it, and I'll bet you probably, I don't know, you probably buy $100 worth of cigarettes a month. Fucking, if you're me, $100 worth of sodas a week.
Here was mine.
It's just that little dollar. It's just putting it away. You get one of those. Just get you a piggy bank that you cannot open unless you need a blowtorch, and just slide
11
the dollar
years
in there
ago.
and let it fall, slide the dollar.
11 years ago, there was we lived in town. There was a Starbucks in town. Between Amanda and I dropping the kids off at school and going to Starbucks, and then her and I going to Starbucks around lunch, and then picking the kids up and going to Starbucks and getting 3 Starbuckses, and then towards dinner we'd go back to Starbucks and get 3 more Starbucses. Actually, it was 4 or 5 at that time. We were spending $1,800 a month at Starbucks.
Yeah,
$1,800 a month. I wasn't making a lot of money. I didn't have a lot of shit. I was really home from prison less than a year. $1,800 in fucking coffee and milkshakes. Like, you don't realize it. You don't know that shit's happening. Everybody has something that you can cut out.
Get a credit card. Get you a credit card that has $500 on it, and then put it in a bag with ice, and then put it in the freezer so it's frozen. You have to really want to get that credit card out, and then you'll be fine.
No, not only that. Get you a credit card. I know. Credit card's terrible. I didn't have any credit. I had no credit. I have literally all those cars sitting out there up until this Toyota. I bought and paid fucking in full every one of them. Bought them all. Paid. Terrible idea. Business-wise, you should lease a vehicle because you can expense it. You can fucking charge all that off. There's a lot of things that go with that. You can get rid of that car and get a newer one. I bought all that shit. I own fucking everything you've seen on my wrist, fucking everything. Bought it, paid out in full. Never had a payment on anything. Where was I going with?
Credit card.
So I had a 650 credit score like a year ago.
Yeah,
maybe a year and a half ago. My credit's now like 780. Credit cards. Get a credit card that pays you 2% cash back. Andy Frisella always talks about, so the black card. Everybody knows what the black card is. You have to pay $10,000 a month. It has cool concierge services with it. American Express also has a card called the Plum Card. It pays 2% back too, I believe. The money I can spend through my card and pay off with that 2% back pays a fucking employee's salary. It pays the 2% coming back to you. Pays bills, like real bills. Like, I have the same thing with my PayPal card. I think I get 1 point back on my PayPal card, but I use it all the time. It pays real fucking bills, that 1% you get back. Yep. But there's cards out there with 2%. 2%'s fucking twice what 1% is. That doubles your fucking money. So if you're running $100,000 on that card, that money fucking adds up pretty quick when you get points back on that. And not bullshit fucking airplane points and shit like that. Real points across the board. Anything you fucking buy. It's all shit you have to be disciplined with it though. Yeah. Like I get an email, hey, your bill is ready. We pay them right then. And then your credit score will fuck you. When I pay my credit cards off, my credit score actually drops. They fuck you. They manipulate you to always carry a balance so that they can charge you on the balance. I hate some of the shit that goes on in this country. It goes on in every country, and it's not something new. You are just awakening to it because we're having these conversations. I hate some of the shit that goes on in this country. I also agree with you guys on the Civil War shit. Most people don't know what they're asking for. When it goes down, lots of sheep will be headed to the slaughter.
Yep.
This imperfect, calm with order is always better than having straight fucking bedlam. The rest of the peace in the world balances on the USA. Shit talkers wish for it. People who know hope it never happens. That said, at some point they will cross that line. When that happens, I guess we will see how many people wave that flag and how many people prop up the tyrannical system. Your flag will change when that happens. Being born here
with a picture of me on it
doesn't mean you're an American.
Being born here doesn't mean you're American. You know what's funny is, when the boats would come into New York City, when the boats would come in from Ireland in New York City, the dudes would get off the boat and they couldn't even speak English. They were still speaking Gaelic. And you know who was at the end of the dock? The U.S. Army. And the U.S. Army was standing right there, and they were like, "Here's a musket. Here's a pack. Get on that boat. You're going down south. You're going to fight in the Civil War." So, you just imagine that. You come all the way to America, and there are Irish that are buried on American battlefields that never had an opportunity to even be American.
John and Skully, what are your opinions on mil surplus rifles? How valuable are they? And would you recommend buying them, like, for instance, a Swiss K-31? I would say... Go ahead.
Mil surplus rifles is valuable. It's as valuable as you want that mil surplus rifle to be. If you have some sort of, like, if your dad was in the Swiss National Guard, part of the old guard, and had that rifle in his barn, yeah, get it. It's got some sort of nostalgia. But the reality is, the older and the more rare the ammunition is, the less valuable it is. I mean, the reality, you want something that you can use. There are certain AR-15s now that are on the CNR. There's fucking M1 Garands. These are still M1 carbines. They're dinosaurs, but they're still viable systems. I mean, it just depends on why you want it. You got to have, like, I got a bunch of old fucking guns. I just got a pistol that's 200 years old.
What I hear when people say that is, I'm impatient. I don't want to save money. I've saved a little bit of money. I want permission to make myself feel good, and I'm going to go buy this thing, when really you should have bought an AR. Like, you should own an AR, because everybody that you're going to be fighting amongst or with or arm in arm, the mags are there, the ammunition is there, the fucking parts are there. It's just like, you should own an AR. You can talk yourself into all kinds of other shit, but typically the dude that bought an old Ford Ranger, he bought it because it was cheap, and he didn't save up enough to ever get that Mustang he always talked about, or that F-350 that he always talked about, or that diesel. Usually it's out of impatience. Do you own a bunch of other guns? Do you own the guns that you think you should own? But really, it comes down at the end of the day, that's your money, man. You do what you want to do with it. I don't own any guns. When my rights get restored, I won't be going and buying surplus guns. Those won't be my first fucking guns I buy.
Oh shit. Yeah, it just depends on, it just depends on where you're at in your life and what you see as valuable. We talk every week about fucking Russian SKSs. I wish I would have bought 2 cases of them when they were $79 a fucking piece. But I didn't. So, it just depends. It depends on what happens with gun laws, and because you get to a point where you get to a point where they say you can't have more than 10 rounds, then an M1 Garand
is
going to be very valuable. It's going to be very valuable. It's kind of like all the 1911s in New York City. Very valuable.
You do what makes you happy, man.
Yeah.
Do what's right for you. There's something you're going to notice is that I'm never going to tell you what I think you should do until you fucking ask me. When you ask me, boy, you open a fucking can of worms. I'll tell you exactly what you should do, and then when you go and do something different, I'm not going to voice my opinion on you fucking up. But when you fuck up, you probably won't even hear about it then. But what will happen is you won't ever get my advice a second time. Like, when I tell you exactly how to do, and I fucking spell it out and give you a path, and you have the tools, and you don't use them, we're done fucking with you. I will paraphrase the answer to when you should start saving money. The best time to buy mill surplus was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. While you're saying that, that goes for land.
I just said that with the SKS.
Yeah, buy you some fucking property.
Buy you some property. It's the one thing they will never make more of.
Like, I own a lot of stuff, guys. I've owned a lot of things. I've really, like, if you took a list and made a list of the top 10 things all you dudes wanted, different shit, right? Different interests. I've had all that shit. For the most part, I've had all of that shit. Until you buy a piece of real property, real estate, real property, not a car, a watch, fucking pussy, whatever it is, fucking boat. Until you own real property, that is a feeling that you will fucking never understand. When you fucking put that time and effort into that thing, it's a different animal. When you plant fucking trees, when you plant fucking grass, when you put fucking piping in, when you fucking upgrade a building, I mean, it is a whole... You don't understand it. I can tell you how it feels. I can tell you how it smells. I can tell you how it tastes. Until you are a property owner, it does not mean the same thing. Have a K31 and buying one for a friend tomorrow. Great gun. Enjoy it. Should get one. Right on. There you go. That's it.
That's it.
All right.
That's it. John's got animals to do. Crickets. You got crickets.
I got crickets. I got to fucking kill off a bunch of rats and feed them to fucking 100 snakes. I've got to feed 20 fucking lizards. I've got to change over 20 rat trays. I got all kinds of shit I got to go do.